Welcome to Conversations Different, the New Mexicans podcast about interesting people and issues in northern New Mexico. I'm your host, Inez Russell Gomez. This week, we are finding out how to help the New Mexico Dental Association and others prepare for a big event this April. With us are Cervantes Roybal, known to one and all in Santa Fe as Buddy, and Dr. Chris Morgan, a local dentist. Thank you for being here.
It's our pleasure. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
So, Buddy, start out by telling us what is happening April 26th and 27th in Santa Fe, and how can we help?
Well, to me, it's one of the most important events that can help people that really need the help. And that's why I'm involved in it. I've been involved with a lot of fundraising for the last 30-some years. So to me, this is, again, one of the most important ones because it really, really, really helps those in need. There's nothing worse than having dental problems because your whole head hurts. And almost all the people that attend this are really needy.
Okay. So it's the New Mexico Mission of Mercy. Is that what it's called?
Yes. The New Mexico Mission of Mercy is a large-scale 2-day dental medical clinic. We'll have 120 chairs, all at the convention center in downtown Santa Fe. The event will be April 26th and April 27th. We'll be seeing patients from 6 in the morning to 6 at night. No questions asked. First come, first service. It's an event sponsored and co-chaired by the New Mexico Dental Association Foundation.
Okay. And who's the other co-chair?
Dentist Dr. Kelly Riles.
Okay. So it's not till April. So what needs to be done right now, Dr. Morgan?
So right now we're kind of a two-pronged approach. We're doing our fundraising right now.
Okay.
We're sort of right in the middle, in the thick of things with that. And we're also just started the first of the month signing people up for volunteers. We need community volunteers, about 1,200.
Wow. So you need like 1,200 people. And obviously all of those are not dentists. So what kind of people do you need?
Anybody can help out. We could have a lot of the volunteers are actually just escorting patients through the dental clinic. It's over 120 chairs. So they all have to be escorted through. There's people to intake, administrative. There's a lot of health professionals. It's not just dentists. It's dental assistants, dental hygienists. We have physicians helping out. We have nurses helping out. We have people to translate Spanish to English mostly. We have people giving massages. If we have people to serve food. So really anybody can help out if they want to. They're about 6-hour-long shifts. We have 4 different shifts.
Goodness gracious, that is a lot of care. So, Buddy, tell us how you got involved with this effort.
Well, in 2016, the Mission Mercy was done in Santa Fe, and I got involved through Rotary. I'm also in the Rotary Club. And at that time, I found out about it through Rotary, and I volunteered to help Chris with some fundraising at the time also. So I thought it was a really amazing to see so many people come, volunteers and dentists, and then all the people that needed it. There was lines. Gosh, there was people there that were probably there from 3 or 4 in the morning.
At least. Yeah.
At least. So it was amazing the need that's out there for dental work.
I think it's a wonderful effort, but I have to say it's a little depressing that this is how people get health care. Dr. Morgan, it's been going on in New Mexico for a number of years.
Yeah, it started around 2010. I believe this is our 10th Mission of Mercy in New Mexico. No, they're all huge events. They range in size from maybe a 600-person event all the way up to 1,200, which is what we did in 2016.
That's amazing. And what I read about your efforts is that if you're in line, you get treated. I mean...
Yeah, we don't turn anybody away. In fact, we don't ask questions and we don't turn people away. We don't ask questions so that no one's afraid to show up. It doesn't make a difference. Everyone needs to be helped, and we're there to help people. I
love that because I know in different efforts in my life, helping people get assistance, sometimes filling out the paperwork is the biggest obstacle.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we do ask at the end if they can let us know who we served so that we know that we're actually hitting the target population, but that's all volunteer. They don't have to. And it's a very low pressure. If you would mind filling out a survey, if not, that's okay also.
Does it trouble you that so many people aren't getting the basic care they need? Like dental hygiene is so essential and can affect so many other parts of your body if your teeth are not working right.
Well, yeah, people miss a lot of work over it. People miss a lot of school over it, and probably miss opportunities in life based on a toothache. The event obviously is going to showcase those most in need. The event's targeted towards the working poor, fellows and folks who, show up for their job every day, 5-6 days a week. They're working in a kitchen. They're cleaning hotel rooms here in Santa Fe. Those types of jobs. They have a family. They're providing for their family, but there's no room for their dental care, and that's who we're targeting.
Yeah. One of the things that I've been surprised in my life is how many people I know who've had like regular professional jobs who start losing their teeth as they get older. And that's, getting a tooth implant or those kinds of things is not a cheap endeavor. And I know that's probably not what this is for, but it can affect your life if you're going out to work and you don't have your teeth.
I think it is actually a little geared towards that. One of the rules that we live by with the Mission of Mercy is we do not extract front tooth without replacing it.
Oh, wow.
So that weekend, August 26th and 27th and 24th, we'll be extracting 30 full arches of teeth with the intention of giving those 30 patients a denture, which is pretty substantial care.
That's huge. Is it April?
April 26th and April 27th of 2024.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Yeah, that's huge. And it's going to be in kind of a fun place. I was thinking about this, Buddy, because we're used to going to the convention center for, market previews or winter Spanish market or winter Indian market, and this is going to be at the convention center.
Yeah, and the wonderful thing about is the city of Santa Fe lets through each counselor give something to nonprofits. So our counselor, Amanda Chavez, is the one that went in and gave her spot. Again, each counselor has an opportunity to do something with the convention center.
Wow, so she's reserving it so that you guys can use it, and instead of having to pay whatever the rental fee is, it's going to be free of charge to this wonderful endeavor.
Yeah, that's correct. And again, we're very thankful that the city of Santa Fe is able to do this for nonprofits, especially when there's such a need. When you think of need, you always think of the homeless, but we don't think of other people that might be needing. Some of these people are not homeless, but they still need that help.
Yeah, and that's true. And I can tell you from shifts at Pete's, where I work on Saturdays, many of the homeless people need to be in line because they have some real problems with teeth that you can just see looking at their mouths.
Yep.
So, and working people do too. It's definitely, I remember being unemployed because I was at home with my son, and all of a sudden all my crowns went out at once. And at the end of the year, we were so broke, and I told my husband, no wonder they were like $4,000 a piece. And that was with some sort of insurance.
Yeah.
And how many people don't have $4,000 sitting around or can't pay it out in a credit card?
It's access to care it's very multifactorial in nature. There's time away from work, there's cost, there's fears. There's a long list of things that would contribute to that.
No, that's totally true. We will be back in a moment to find out other ways that we can help this endeavor.
Thanks, Inez. This is Patrick Dorsey, publisher of the Santa Fe New Mexican. We hope you're enjoying this episode of Conversations Different with Inez Russell Gomez. Great local content is only possible with a talented staff dedicated to bringing you the best local content possible. For that staff to do its work, we need your support by subscribing to the Santa Fe New Mexican. If you're already a subscriber, thank you. And if not, there's never been a better time to subscribe. In addition to our home-delivered newspaper that comes with full digital access, we also provide digital-only subscriptions for SantaFeNewMexican.com. We'll also be releasing more online-only audio and video programming moving forward. The Santa Fe New Mexican has been here for nearly 175 years, and we want to continue being your source for local news and information. Visit us at SantaFeNewMexican.com/subscribe or call us at 505-986-3010. Thank you.
It's a new day in New Mexico, and the doors to boundless opportunity are open as tens of thousands of New Mexicans reach higher to pursue a dream, broaden their horizons, and retrain for a better job. With the New Mexico Lottery and Opportunity Scholarships, you could build yourself a better future anywhere in the state. You put in the hard work, we'll help with the costs. For eligibility details, visit reachhighernm.com.
Welcome back to Conversations Different, where we're talking to Chris Morgan, a local dentist, and Cervantes Buddy Roybal, a well-known former business owner. He owned Coronado Paint for years and is renowned in town for being a great volunteer, whether it's with Big Brothers Big Sisters or now with the New Mexico Mission of Mercy. It doesn't happen until April, but what's going on now is the preparation. And when you think about it, Chris, you're going to be in the Civic Center. You're going to have 120 dentists in their chairs. And I assume there'll be like partitions between them, to preserve privacy perhaps, depending on what kind of setup you get. And then you're going to have hundreds and hundreds of people waiting to be seen. Because what this is about is helping people get the dental care that they are missing in their otherwise ordinary lives. Is that correct?
Absolutely. It's a very large, it's a 120 chair dental clinic. If you can just imagine the size of a football field, that's roughly what it is. The chairs are not separated. They can't possibly be separated. So there is not separators, but it's a dental clinic. And
right.
People know what to expect, and it works out.
You're going to be
fine.
opening your mouth, not taking off your shirt, so
Exactly,
it's okay.
Linda.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah. Wow, that's huge. I can't imagine there's 120 dentists in Santa Fe. So where does one find all these dentists?
Mostly within the state of New Mexico. It's a New Mexico Dental Association sponsored event. So a lot of the dentists are members of the association, but we have non-member dentists also. Largely 90% are within the state. Repeat volunteers, like I mentioned earlier, the event's been going on for over 13 years. And so there's a lot of dentists have done 10 or more events. We do get some out-of-state dentists. We had to work something out with the state dental board to make sure they could come and volunteer and be covered, from a liability perspective.
Right. And there's always some paper, red tape to go through, et cetera.
Yeah.
But you got it. This is totally aside, but do you think New Mexico would be better off if we had our own dental school?
It would be. It's been a repeated item on the legislature's calendar. It's very expensive.
Yes.
It would be probably $50 or $60 million to get a dental school, and currently that's probably not the most likely way of things moving forward. So currently we're working with schools like Texas Tech and the WICHE program to get our local people out to dental school and trying to tempt them to come back to the state.
Does it work, just as an aside, to pay, could New Mexico pay their tuition and say in return for that you come back for 5 years?
Sort
Would that
of.
help?
There's loan repayment programs for rural dentists that can be helpful. The WICHE program in particular more or less pays the difference between in-state and out-of-state tuition. So maybe you got into Texas Tech and maybe their tuition's $50,000 a year. The state of New Mexico might pay $20,000.
Okay, what I'm thinking is you just pay it. I mean, how wonderful would that be to get because that's cheaper than building a dental school.
It would be, but we roughly probably need 30 to 40 new dentists a year to keep the state properly stocked, and that would be a lot. We're working with UNM, we're working with Texas Tech, we're working with the state. We are getting an adequate number of new dentists to the state of New Mexico.
Okay, so we're getting what we need to run it. And as an aside, I did not pay him to say Texas Tech was a great school, despite my great love for my alma mater. I am a 82 graduate and still very fond, as you can see from my little stickers all over the room. Anyway, going back to what you're doing right now, so you have to raise money. And it's not to put the clinic on, it's to do things like feed volunteers, or what is that money going to be used for?
Well, most of the money will be used, again, to pay for the equipment. The equipment, to bring that much equipment in is very expensive.
Wow, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you can't just put your chair from your office in your car and drive it over.
No, it's all rental equipment that has to be brought in. And you can imagine 120 chairs and the cost of setting them up and the transportation.
Where does one go to get a rental dental chair? You can't go to like Garcia's Party City or something.
So there's a nonprofit out of Kansas that has two semis, one with about 60 dental chairs, and the other one is actually a pair of semis with 120. So you need to decide how large of an event you'd like to do about a year in advance.
Wow.
We reserve, and it's all different states, dental foundations organizing a mission of mercy. That's the only thing these chairs are used for. So there's about 35 states in the country that do mission of mercies every 18 to 24 months.
Okay.
So there's a
you
lot
have
of
to-
maintenance,
right, so-
travel, setting them up, the expertise, setting up evacuation, which is the suction, water. I mean, it's an entire plan.
No, I sometimes when I go to the dentist, the way how you spit your water out, you don't do that anymore. Someone sucks it out of your mouth. I mean, it's so different. It's really very fancy now. It's I always think I liked it better when I could swoosh more, but they don't allow me that option. So your job is helping get everything ready behind the scenes.
No, my job, of course, is to help with fundraising.
Okay.
Try to get the monies that we need for this.
How much money are you looking at?
Oh, Chris, it's about 140, 50,000, I believe.
It's closer to $215,000.
215,000. Boy, got to raise more money then.
Have you gone to Ancorum? I heard they have a bunch of money.
Yeah, we did. We're actually, you have to, when we went to Ancorum, they want you to fill out a grant. You
Right.
ask for a grant. So hopefully you'll get some money from Ancorum because their new mission, this is perfect for the new mission that they're trying to get across.
Right, because they want to improve health outcomes in town and the lives of people and their situations.
Yeah. And our concern, again, is there's so much need in this city for nonprofits. I mean, everybody's asking for money. So when we go ask for money, it's almost like a repeat. What's this for? So it's important people really understand of all the nonprofits. They're all in need, but this one, but particularly, I feel very strongly about because it really, really, really helps that person that really, really needs the help.
Right. Now, is there any reason why people aren't getting this dental care besides they don't have insurance, there's not enough dentists? I mean, this is kind of helping the symptom, but what is at the root of this?
We truly think there are enough dentists in New Mexico. If you actually look at the numbers, the problem is they're not dispersed very well. They're all along the Rio Grande Valley. So if you look at rural areas, there's huge underserved areas. The problem is we're so rural in New Mexico, you can't always have a dental office in the most rural county. So
Right.
that's an issue. Cost is always a limiting factor. Time off or availability of time off from work is a huge factor. Another big thing we deal with is dental fears. People have had neglected teeth for so long that the minute they get to the dental office and it's an extreme procedure and they develop a fear of the dentist. And had they been able to go for more routine maintenance, they wouldn't have to have the major procedures in the first place.
That's right, because there's nothing like being told, by the way, you have to have a root canal.
And you hadn't seen the dentist in 5 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh,
so-
those are so scary. I imagine that when people show up, you find other things. Do you have any stories from past events or an experience where you saw a patient and as a result caught something?
Well, yeah, I just had a patient recently come in. We did a panoramic x-ray. We happened to see a growth in her throat, and she ended up having some sort of tumor and had to have it removed and probably saved her life.
Wow.
That doesn't happen very often.
Right.
But it is an example. More often than not, what we see is a patient come in who literally will cover his mouth because he won't show his teeth because they're in such disrepair. In order to fix that, maybe you have to extract the teeth, make a set of dentures. But the difference of seeing someone smile and being able to go out and get a job and contribute to society is a huge, huge thing. And we're going to do that over and over and over again.
No, it's one of the interesting things about being an American is that we have nice teeth. And then you see people from Europe and they don't have nice teeth always. And I don't know if ours are better or worse, but it's just totally a difference. And it's the same thing within a town is if you're well off, your teeth look better. And if you were poor and couldn't go to the dentist, they're not as nice.
Well, from an emotional perspective, just happiness,
Yeah.
not being so depressed, not actually having the ability to go out and to get a job.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people see that as a limiting factor, and then they come to the Mission of Mercy, and we're able to fix, their smile, and suddenly they're out working again.
Wow. So this is something, buddy, that has immediate impact, but also could have life-changing impact on people.
Exactly. It's needed so badly out there. And this is an opportunity for people to come in and not feel that they have to, first of all, the monies is important, but also a free event like this brings out a lot of people. Last time we did it was over 1,300 people, Chris?
Roughly, yep. We did $1.2 million of dentistry in 2 days.
That's incredible. And that's basically your donation of time and expertise and knowledge and all the things that you know.
Yeah, what we did is we took the procedures that we performed and we scored them based on what Medicaid reimburses, which is a much lower rate than
I was going to say, if you've been doing it for a private insured.
So it's probably even a lot more than that, but
Wow.
we have to stick to those numbers because they're fair, and that's what we did. And so we came up with $1.2 million.
Well, good. We'll take a break right now and be back with the closing segment for Conversations Different.
My name is Maria Jose Rodriguez Cadiz, and I am the Executive Director with Solace Sexual Assault Services. Our mission is to prevent sexual violence and empower survivors of sexual violence through restoring dignity, strength, and resiliency. For almost 51 years, Solace has reduced the impact of sexual violence. We do it by focusing on human rights, social justice, hope, and dignity. We believe survivors are experts in their own experiences and acknowledge that empowering them is crucial to their healing. Our advocacy, forensic interviewing, and therapy services are centered to their needs. Our sexual violence prevention programs in schools and community is just as important. Please check our website at findsolace.org. And if in need, you can call our 24/7 hotline, which is 800-721-7273. Your support is crucial to the lives of survivors. Thank you. Gracias.
Welcome back to Conversations Different. Before we go today, Chris, I want you to just talk a little bit about what you need right now and how people can show up, to sign up, et cetera. I know the New Mexico Dental Association website, and we're going to have a link that we'll post at our show later, but just talk about what would help you get this and be successful.
Well, currently we're fundraising right now. We need to raise a significant amount of cash in order to put on this event. In order to donate to the event, the New Mexico Dental Association Foundation has a website, and there's a little kiosk there. You can click on it and donate. And any donation is helpful. The donations go straight to the event, the cost of the equipment, the cost of the materials. The dentists that are there are not going to be paid. The organizers are not paid. I'm not paid at all. We're all volunteers. We're there to help the community that helps support us. As far as what else we need volunteers, and anybody can volunteer. There are jobs walking patients throughout the clinic. There's jobs checking people in. There's definitely medical professional jobs, nurses, physicians, dentists, hygienists, assistants. We need all of those types of volunteers. But we also need a lot of just layperson volunteers. If you're interested in either donating or attending the event as a volunteer, please visit sfnm.co/mission.
And Buddy, just to close out, why is this so close to your heart? Because as I said before, you're noted for helping in the community in many different ways, but you really speak of this with a great passion.
Well, again, no, it's all volunteers. In 2019, we did the Mayor's Give Back Ball, where we honored 250 volunteers. Mm-hmm. So this is a wonderful town that really steps up to volunteer. We've done, of course, painting on the plaza. We've done so many events. So that's why I thought that when Chris decided to do it again, I thought, gosh, of all the volunteer work that I've done, this really, once you see the lines and you see the people and the smiles and all the dentists and their assistants all working together, it's an amazing event because it's all people working together to help others.
Oh, that's beautiful. And on that note, this has been another Conversations Different from the Santa Fe New Mexican, new every Tuesday. Find us at santafenewmexican.com or wherever you listen to your podcast.